Eric, let's talk about public education in Los Angeles. What role do you think public education can and should play in creating a successful future in Los Angeles? Why does it matter? And as mayor, what would you do about it?
Public education is the backbone of our progress economically, building community, stabilizing everything from public safety to looking at how we use space in our neighborhoods. So as mayor, I think that we have to break down walls between the school district and the rest of the city. For too long, we've just said the school district, that's your problem. Solve education, do it on your own. For me, as a council member, I've looked at breaking down those walls, whether it's joint use agreements, whether it's looking at ways we can help with after-school programs, or look at ways that we can get more kids into college. But public education has to be the heart of how we look at economic development and community stabilization in Los Angeles.
What are your thoughts on school reform and why it matters?
School reform is critical. Nobody can be happy with the status quo. While there's been great progress, I think, in the last few years, it's still, if you look at the statistics, we're failing too many children. We're not succeeding in preparing our young people for the jobs and the economy of the future. Reform is important from top to the bottom, at the administrative level, all the way down to that neighborhood school where sometimes they don't feel they have the autonomy or the support that they need. Talk to a teacher today, and I used to be an educator, they're not being thanked ever. All you hear is the bad headlines of the terrible teachers. And I was talking to somebody recently who got some free theater tickets to give to teachers, hand them out just as a way of saying thank you, and got so many emails from these teachers saying, thank you for thanking me. Nobody's done that in so long. So for me, that's very important for us to get engaged and involved. Reform, though, also has to happen at the accountability level, where we want to have autonomy in our schools, but not so far that they can fail and nobody holds them accountable. So as mayor, I will stay involved in the reform movement. I think it's critically important, but we also have to make it a less shrill debate. Some people are either reformers or they're pro-teachers. You can be both.
Okay. You mentioned the idea of joint use agreement. Do you have ideas about partnering with the school district for park space or pools or other public spaces?
Absolutely. The city and the school district must act as one. And when I came in my first year, I remember Mount Washington Elementary School had never had a library, auditorium, or cafeteria. I brought community development block grant money from the city in to spend it at that school, and everybody at City Hall laughed at me. They said, we don't do that. That's the school district's responsibility. But I said, we've not been able to get this facility. Let's spend it there. Why would we spend it 10 blocks from a school when we could do it in the school? Now, whether it's ball fields at Irving, Bernstein, Dayton Heights, where we've done a community park that's also the playground. We've done parent centers, we've brought health clinics. This is using city money in schools, and it's great because on the weekends, guess what? That ball field becomes a park for the community. Why do we have to build it away from a school when a park isn't used during the daytime, usually, and during the week, but it could be by students, and vice versa. A school field isn't often used in the weekends, but if we put that together, we've had great success at those schools.
Okay. Adult schools are a huge part of what we do at LAUSD. Budget cuts, we all know the story. As mayor, what role do you think the city could play in making sure our best adult education programs survive and thrive?
A great example of LAUSD adult ed and vocational programs was the aviation mechanics program in Van Nuys, which I'm fighting right now to save. We actually own the land where it is. We were charging rent, and due to cuts, LAUSD had to say we can't afford that rent. Well, we're going to rent it for free and save that program. But it's a great example of what we're not doing right. We need to bring together city funds, school funds, and community colleges to have kind of a one-stop shop. I want to have one portal, for instance, where people can go online, do a universal application for job training programs across those 3 different governmental entities. I want to take those monies and see where can we combine them and put them in facilities together. For the average person out there, they don't care if it's an LAUSD program, a city program, or a community college program. They just want a job. They just want the skills. And for me, adult ed is critical. One of the couple times I've ever been to the school board, you saw me, was to lobby, please don't cut adult ed. I know it's been so difficult with budget cuts, but to me, it's a critical part of getting our economy back on track.
Okay, in about 45 seconds we have less. Let's touch upon the Department of Water and Power. As you know, the school district is the largest customer of the Department of Water and Power. As mayor, would you be willing to help pressure the DWP and work with the district on solar issues and some billing issues that the district has had with the department?
Absolutely, Tamar. I'm a problem solver. I like looking at the ways that we can do things like that. The feed-in tariff, which is solar power on rooftops, is something I pushed through the Department of Water and Power. I want to see every school have solar power on top, and you can earn money off of that. Essentially, it's a power plant getting us off of dirty coal and bad nuclear power, putting it right here in the basin and helping the school district reduce its costs while we save the environment.
Thank you, Eric Garcetti.
Thank you.